Hello everyone, my name is Pris from Prisperuses and welcome to another video. Today I am giving you my July wrap up. Now I almost didn't film this video because I had a massive reading slump in July. It was only fair because June was such a big reading month for me. I ended up reading almost 20 books in that month and some big books as well. But July went all downhill from there. Not only did I have a massive reading slump, I had a life slump, my mental health was the shit, and I did not have a good time at all. Now, I got out of this reading slump towards the end of July, so most of these books I have read towards the end. I managed to read 6 books in total in July, but 5 of them I read in the last week of July. It was really bad, the reading slump, but I'm coming out of it and I am falling in love back with reading again, and that's just really fantastic. So I almost didn't make this video and I was gonna put it together with August, but I thought 6 books could still make a decent wrap-up video. So without further ado, I am gonna dive in the books that I read in July. The first one that I read was the Tea Dragon Tapestry. Oh my gosh, I finally read this book. I have been screaming about getting my hands on this. I got this whilst I was in Manchester Deansgate. It was such an amazing bookstore. If you live near or in Manchester and you've never been in Waterstones Deansgate, I highly recommend that you go there because it's an absolutely beautiful bookstore. Super big. Just endless way to go, but just so beautifully decorated with this like really old dark bookcases, and it was just an experience to be there. I picked this up there, but I only read it like halfway throughout July. This is the 3rd one in the Tea Dragon Society series, and this book is fantastic. It's beautiful, it feels like a hug, and the art style is gorgeous. I know this is a well-beloved graphic novel series. It's all about this land where there are little tea dragons who are absolutely adorable, and the leaves they grow on their little heads. You can make special teas with the leaves, and the teas does all sorts of things, like magical things, and honestly it's just the best thing. It's happiness in a book. And if you have not read the series, I highly recommend that you do. I ended up giving this 5 stars, no surprises there. Next up we have the Stardust Thief. I read this together with my Patreons for the bi-monthly Patreon book club. Unfortunately, I didn't really enjoy this all that much, which was really a shame. I think I still was a little bit in my reading slump when I read this. I've forgotten most of it already, which is like really bad. It is what it is. Started off really good. It started off with like these gin and all these magic vibe, and I got really intrigued, and then I got a little boring, and then I got a little more boring, and I just didn't really care for the story or the characters. It felt a little bit too YA for me as well, so I did not have the bestest time with this, unfortunately. So there's that. I ended up giving this 3 stars. Next up we have City of Ashes by Cassandra Clare. I also did not enjoy this all that much. I gave this about 2.5–3 stars. I enjoyed this a little bit less than the City of Bones. It's just I don't really care for Clary and Jace. I have thoughts, I cannot obviously share them with you because spoilers, but I don't really care about Clary and Jace, and obviously they are the main focus of the book. I love Alec and Magnus, and I love Isabella as well. I hate Simon. I think he is a terrible character. And if you know, you know what happens with Simon in this book was just, it was ridiculous to me. Like, absolutely ridiculous. I felt this book was such a whirlwind, like things came dropping out of the sky out of fucking nowhere, and then some things happened that were really convenient for the story and just not realistic at all. So yeah, I'm still very much intrigued and it's entertaining, so I do still want to continue, and I am gonna continue with the series. because I'm doing the shadow along with my Patreons. Yeah, it's entertaining, but nothing more than that. It's not mind-blowing or special or anything. But when I was in the slump, it felt really good to read this because I didn't have to think as much about it. So, you know, that's good. Next up we have Zachary Ying and the Dragon Emperor. This is by the same author who wrote Iron Widow, and you all know how much I adored and love Iron Widow, so I was really excited to get my hands on this. I got this at Waterstones during Yalk, and I'm so happy that I did. I'm so happy that I got to read this. I give this a very solid 4-star. I really enjoyed this. This is a little bit sci-fi-ish, a little bit futuristic with like some computer games, but also with some ancient history involving China, which made it really cool. I learned a lot about like Chinese history in this book, and I love when a book does that. I love when a book teaches you new things about a new culture. I loved Zachary as a character, and his friends were also amazing. I could really see some similarities with Iron Widow as well, so that was really cool to see, and I really enjoyed this. So I gave this 4 stars, and I highly recommend this middle grade. Then we have 2 books that I both read on the last day of July, and they were both 5 stars because I apparently saved the best books for last. First up we have Medusa, the girl behind the myth. Oh my gosh, guys, you need to pick this up. This was incredible. This is a story about Medusa, and with flashbacks she's telling her story to this boy that visits her island. Slowly she reveals who she is and what she became, and this was just incredible. Like, I loved reading about Medusa and how she came the girl with the snakes on top of her head, and it was just written so beautifully. The audiobook was phenomenal. The illustrations in this are absolutely gorgeous, and I just had such a fantastic time reading this. This was so incredibly good. I gave it 5 stars, and I really like Greek mythology, but I don't know too much about it. So it was really interesting to see how Medusa came the girl with the snakes and just her backstory, and it was actually like heartbreaking at points as well. Like, I really teared up at some points. So yeah, I highly recommend that you pick this up. I picked this up at Yalk, and I was so intrigued by this because I saw this on Ashley's channel, From a Frolic to Friction, and I'm just so happy that I got to read this. And it was definitely one of the best books that I read so far this year. So that is saying something, and you should definitely pick this one up. Then the very last book that I read during the month of July was Julia and the Shark. Oh my gosh, guys, this was also heartbreaking and beautiful. This also has illustrations. This is a middle grade, and I am all for books with illustrations. I feel like they're bringing the story to life in a way that words only can do so much. This is about a girl and her relationship with her parents. For work, they move to an island in the summer, and her mother wants to find this really rare shark for her research, and it's all about Julia and how she copes with her relationship with her mother, with her father, how she's making friends. And I don't want to say like too much because I feel like going in this blindly is probably the best way to go. But yeah, just some trigger warnings for mental health and suicide and depression and all that kind of jazz, because that's very prominent in here. But it was absolutely beautiful, heartbreaking at times as well. I cried during this again, but it was so beautifully done, and I highly recommend this. Also one of my favorite books this year so far. There you have it. That was it. Those were all the books that I read in July. Not as much as I hoped I was gonna read, but At the end of July, I was really proud of myself that I still managed to read 6 books. So all in all, I am really proud of myself that I got myself out of the slump. I'm feeling way better, and I'm just ready to tackle August. What was your favorite book that you've read in July? I would love to know. Please let me know down below in the comments. If you have enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I am gonna leave you for now. Thank you all so much for your continued support, and I will hopefully see you soon with another video. Bye bye.